Welcome to Halifax, Nova Scotia and the Scotia Bank Center for Halifax Hurricanes basketball. The Hurricanes take on the Island Storm with Matt Elliott, Vince Williams on hand, the champions of 2017, 2018 Atlantic Division champions return to the court. The Hurricanes' 4-game winning streak snapped on Tuesday by a hot shooting Moncton Magic team, in particular Corey Allman. That game well in the rear view though. Tonight is a chance to inch closer to the show and number 1 overall in the National Basketball League of Canada and home court advantage throughout the playoffs, Matt.
Yeah, that's right, and that's going to be the focus of this game, is to get this W. They were hoping to get it a couple days ago. Corey Allman stepped in and said, nope, not going to happen. So they got to get that win now, as you said, to get that first place. That'll clinch them the home court advantage throughout the playoffs.
Big important matchup between these two teams, and a lot of implications towards the playoffs around the National Basketball League this evening, in particular in the Atlantic Division. Another game going on at the same time, tipping off out of town at Harbor Station will be the St. John Riptide welcoming in the Moncton Magic. The Magic and the Riptide and the Storm all in a 3-man race. Well, the Magic pretty much got second place locked up.
Yep.
But that 3rd and 4th spot is still up for grabs between the Island Storm and the Riptide.
Yeah, that's right. So you got to think Island Storm obviously hoping for the win tonight, also hoping for the St. John Riptide to have a loss, because they don't want to be going in 4th place, taking on that number 1 team, which will be Halifax. Ideally, the matchup you want is the 2-3.
The Island Storm come in tonight's matchup without the services of Chris Johnson, Tyler Scott, and Andre Stringer, so they come shorthanded this evening to Scotiabank Center, looking for pretty much the impossible dream. But on the other side, the Halifax Hurricanes without their all-star this year, who's been outstanding, C.J. Washington, who was gone for the rest of the year, who averaged 14 points on the season and just below 10 rebounds.
Yeah, that's a huge loss for the Canes going into the playoffs. One of their better players, one of their more reliable players, and one of the more consistent guys, and of course always a fan favorite here. So Halifax has a deep bench. You know, it gets a little bit shorter with the loss of C.J. Washington, but still a very talented team.
Let's meet the starting lineups real quick for the Island Storm. Kemi Osei, Franklin Session, Brad States, Devon Maxwell, and Carl Hall. For the Hurricanes, it's Watson, Brown, Clinkscales, Mason, and White. Taps controlled by the Island Storm. Osei puts it up for 3. Osei, it's too strong, and that's rebounded by Brown. So right off the bat, Matt, Osei looking for his offense.
Yeah, he must have been watching the last game with Moncton, hoping he could channel some of what Corey Allman had.
Clinkscales, good entry pass to Brown. Kick out the Clinkscales, he puts it up. That shot's no good. Watson though, second chance opportunity. And Mason in and out on that 3-ball, and rebound by Maxwell.
Yeah, 3-ball's not normally Mason's strength. I mean, he's a great scorer, he can hit it, but his percentages aren't fantastic so far this year.
Antoine Mason has been outstanding. Definitely in the conversation for the MVP of this year, 2017-2018,
yes,
averaging
sir.
20 points per game.
Yeah, he has been lightning in a bottle.
White now. Drives in, and he's fouled by Maxwell, and he'll go to the line to shoot too. That's going to be an interesting matchup this evening as well, Matt. Maxwell and White, both of these guys can get it done.
Yep.
Drive in the paint and create their own shot off the bounce. Maxwell is an electric player. If he gets to the rim, he's not going to lay it in. He's going to throw it down.
Yeah, both similar type of players, similar builds, very athletic, long players, but aggressive at the same time. So yeah, it's going to be a fun matchup to watch for sure.
White hits the first of 2. Billy, a 74% free throw shooter on the season. Second one coming up. And that's in and out. So Billy goes 1 for 2. Island Storm Hurricanes here at Scotiabank Center on the eve of Good Friday. Good crowd on hand at Scotiabank Center as they continue to foul in. And I'd like to welcome all the Island Storm fans as Maxwell misses that shot. Tuning in to the broadcast. Enjoy, because this one should be a good one.
Nice finish.
White with the finish at the rim. You can see Maxwell just getting out of the way, doesn't want to pick up 2 fouls quickly because they need him to log some quality minutes tonight. Session for 3, and that barely hits the rim. And Franklin Session and Devon Maxwell are going to be key tonight, Matt. Session averaging 20, Maxwell 18, but they need to go high above that average as Watson knocks down the jumper.
Yeah, definitely. Those 3 players are missing, and Chris Johnson, Tyler Scott, and Andre Stringer. You're looking at about 40 points a game right there. So yeah, someone's going to have to pick up the slack for them, and those 2 guys are probably going to be who they lean on.
Carl Hall with the sky hook in the lane, no good. 5-0 lead, Hurricanes. Mason, baseline, no good. Hall with the rebound. Island Storm still in search of their first points of the game here. Hall gets to the rim, can't finish. Clinkscales now back the other way. Entry pass inside the Billy Jaws, the double team back inside the White. Nice spin move on the baseline. Second chance is good. So outstanding spin move on States.
Yeah.
States got caught flat-footed. Billy didn't make the first one, but he stayed with it and got the second opportunity. One thing that this Hurricane team does very well is rebound the basketball on the offensive end.
Yeah, definitely. And you see what Billy did there with that good footwork. He was able to get the shot up on States, but also got good body position. He had him boxed out after the shot, was able to clean up. And that's a bit of a mismatch, too. States is a good basketball player, but it's a bit of a mismatch for him to take on Billy White.
Brad States, 6'7" forward from the University of Prince Edward Island by way of Bathurst, New Brunswick. So a timeout on the floor, 7-0 lead for the Hurricanes, and the Hurricanes trying to get off to a good start and play a full 48 minutes, something that they didn't do on Tuesday night.
Yeah, and they really, from the start, in my opinion, they really looked out of sync on Tuesday night. There was a lot of turnovers. Balls were kind of all over the place. They picked it up here and there, but it came in spurts. And unfortunately, when, as we've said a couple times now, when you got a guy who's hitting bombs from all over the place, Corey Allman, you can't afford to make those mistakes. You got to almost play a close to perfect game, and they weren't able to do it.
And Corey Allman darn near played a perfect game. He was 9 for 14 from downtown, finished up tonight for 34 points. But like we said at the top of the broadcast, that game is well in the rear view of the Hurricanes. They know that the Moncton Magic are going to be a tough out for anybody to play in the playoffs.
It doesn't matter where you see them.
This team here that is accustomed to winning is going to be a very difficult out. Until somebody dethrones them, they're going to be the team to beat and chase down in the Atlantic Division.
Yeah, for sure.
So final instructions for both teams here as head coach Tim Kendricks got to talk to his guys saying, man, we got to put the ball in the hole. Defensively, we're okay right now. It's early. Lots of basketball left to find our rhythm, but we need to find our rhythm in 2 different ways. Either decide to push the basketball, get some easy buckets in transition, or get into our half-court sets and get some quality shots with making the extra pass.
Yeah, and they got to find that guy who they're going to run their offense through, at least to start off, start getting those points rolling. So far, they haven't found it.
Brown now kicked out to Mason. Watson, left hand, good, beautiful.
Great
set
game
out of the timeout by the Hurricanes. The roll back to the rim on the back screen for Watson, and Watson gets that opportunity. You know he can get it done at a very high clip. He's amongst the league leaders in field goal percentages because he shoots shots 1 or 2 feet away from the basket.
That's right, and because he can finish with the right or the left. You saw he finished that last one with the left, no problem.
Missed shot down the other end. Watson back, finger rolled, no good.
Look at Antoine Mason in there, just fighting.
Mason with the second chance opportunity for the Canes, a reset of the clock. Clinkscales now directing traffic. Entry pass to Watson. Watson's got the smaller man Osei on him, trying to go back to Watson. Clinkscale's got to go, though. Shot clock under 5. Clinkscales puts it up for 3. Short at the rim, and that's rebound by States. So on that last set, you can see that they were trying to work that mismatch between Osei and Watson. Hall now. Spin move.
Great defense. Look at that. Textbook defense from the big man.
Numbers on the run, and that alley-oop not there for White, just behind White on that 3-on-1. And Billy couldn't corral it with
Here's the replay here. Just a bit too far back for Billy to get to. They don't quite have that connection that him and Klink do, although they did hook up on a few last game.
9-0 run by the Hurricanes. 7:05 left in the first.
Wow.
Run out, Mason, and an easy
great court vision
layup at the other end. You can't allow this team to get in the open floor and get in the transition, but you gotta love it if you're a Hurricanes fan. And Hall finally gets the Island Storm on the board with the and one, and he'll go to the line for an opportunity to complete the three-point play.
See, Clinkscale's discussing it with the ref, thought he was straight up. I think Rommel Brown, I don't know if we're going to see the replay, but it looks like he was leaning over just enough. Ooh, I don't know. Could have went either way with that call.
The officials tonight, Peter Phipps, Justin Rocky, and the crew chief, Paul Hansen. Hall completes the three-point play, so the 11-0 run to start the game, finally broken up by the Storm, as Hall completes that three-point play. White now. Reversal, Mason, back to Clinkscales. White puts it up and in.
Ooh.
Billy White knocking down the jump shot. Good ball movement, that extra pass in the half court. And when the Hurricanes can do it, they're outstanding. There's a lot of things that this Hurricanes team can do offensively, averaging 106 points a game.
Yeah, they got lots of options.
And Osei knocks down a 3. He's 1 for 2. That was a good look for Osei. Better look than the previous one that he tried to put up in the first possession. Brown.
Oh, what a pass.
And Rummel Brown is going to be huge now that C.J. Washington is no longer available.
Oh, big time. And that's you saw when C.J. went down, he stepped into that starting role. Up till then, he was coming off the bench, 7th man, 6th man, depending. But he's been playing, incredible basketball, and he's doing exactly what they brought him in here to do, was play that big man role, grab the rebounds.
Watson now, and Watson with the baby hook in the lane. He lost the handle there as the Hurricanes had numbers back the other way off the State's miss. And it's an 11-point lead.
And just to finish my thought there, he's been doing everything, including, you see, grabbing the rebounds, but playing defense as well. And that's primarily what they brought him in to do, was be that presence in the paint against guys like Royce White.
Brown's 5th rebound. Mason rattles home the 3.
Big 3.
So everything going the way of the Hurricanes in this quarter. 5 minutes remaining in the first, and it's a 14-point lead. Mason in the open floor, off the backboard. He probably thought he had White, but outstanding hustle by States, and an easy flush back the other way for Hall.
What a turnaround.
So not sure what that was all about by Mason. If you see Mason, usually 10 times out of 10, if he gets in front of the defense or gets behind the defense, he's attacking the rim and he's going for himself.
Yeah.
But right there, it looked like he was trying to get Billy White off the backboard there.
Tried to get a little bit too cute.
Yeah, too fancy that is, and the Island Storm took advantage of that, and that might be the spark that they need.
It might be.
Bourdain's in for the Storm now, and Mike Poole will check in for the Canes. So 12-point lead. The largest was 14, 4:32 remaining. In the first quarter here, it's been all Canes. And they've been pretty much doing what they want offensively.
Not only that, but they're eating up the boards 14-6.
Mason, this jumper short. Maxwell back the other way. Maxwell, one-man fast break, and he finishes. Man, Devon Maxwell, he's got some long extremities, long arms and legs.
Yeah.
Man, he can get it done all over the court. 6'6" from Hampton University by way of Petersburg, Virginia. This guy is outstanding in his first campaign in the National Basketball League of Canada.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. You saw you saying those large extremities with that wingspan is really what he used to get himself that layup as he charged down the court. He was just too long. He was able to get it around the defender. But not only is he a great offensive player, he's a great defensive player, right? And
great rim protector.
Yeah, in the university, he was the MEAC Defensive Player of the Year, right? That doesn't happen by mistake.
I was waiting for that. Zimmerman checks in for the first time. Ronaldo gets to the table. He's going to check in as well. And Devon Maxwell, I like to dub him Dr. Duncanstein. Man, he is I'm telling you, if he gets a chance at the rim, you're going to see some highlight finishes. Almost like he's in a slam dunk competition. Session off to a slow start for the Island Storm. They need him to get going. White fires a three, bang, and Billy knocks down the triple right between the eyes of Maxwell.
He's got his range tonight.
Billy looking to assert himself offensively.
Definitely.
And when Billy White is going, and Billy White is firing all cylinders as he knocked down that three ball, he knocked down the 18-footer, he was able to finish at the rim. Those three aspects for Billy White are very important to what direction he's going to go offensively. If it happens early, you know that he's in for a big night.
Yeah, and as a defender, it makes it hard on you because normally you're used to him, eating you up in the paint. You gotta watch his footwork and stuff like that. But now if he's hitting threes and he's hitting those 18-footers, now all of a sudden you got to step up. You got to play him out there as well. So for the bigger man, now Devon Maxwell can handle it, but for bigger men, that's a tough draw.
Billy White, 6'8" from San Diego State. Maxwell to the rim, can't finish. Loses the handle off the 50-50 ball. Kane's got numbers in the open floor. Zimmerman puts it up for three, and that's no good. Rebound by Poole. Poole can't get the putback to go. Burdine with the rebound. And we have a foul on Clint Scales. And that'll be Hurricanes' third team foul. And Clint Scales is first. So an opportunity here, second chance opportunity for Mike Poole. Mike Poole has inserted a lot of energy coming off the bench for the Hurricanes lately.
Yeah, he's been great. He's a guy that can volume score when you need him to, but he also plays great defense, and he always crashes the boards.
Hall, spin move. Ronaldo off the window and good. That was a nice looking move by Hall. Looked like he was almost losing the handle there. Regathered himself and was able to get it up and over of Ronaldo. Ronaldo, a very good rim protector, leads the team in block shots just in front of Ramal Brown.
Hall is a nice pickup for the Island Storm. What a move there by Mike Poole.
Wow,
Did you see that?
Poole,
did he ever freeze
there.
a defender?
Poole with the show and go and the teardrop in the lane and losing the handle, but last touch by the Hurricanes. It will remain Island Storm possession with 2:05 remaining in the first. They still trail by 13. Got off to a slow start, the Storm did. It was a 9-0 run before they got their first two. Session knocks down the three, though.
He'll do that.
They really need Franklin Session to emerge. He's 1 for 5 now with 3 points.
That's a 20-pointer, right? He's averaging 20 a game. They definitely need him.
10-point lead now for the Hurricanes. Under 2 to go in the first. Zimmerman.
Ooh,
and that's picked off by Session. Island Storm got numbers in the transition and count it. As Osei was able to get the left hand to go through the contact.
Yeah.
Good looking fast break there, back the other way off of that steal by Session, Matt.
Yeah, and a good job. We'll see, watch the replay here. Good job on Mike Poole to track him down. Was going for the block, and as you'll see, just gets enough. It wasn't a hard foul, but just enough to get the call. Just like that, Osei's got a chance for 3.
Kenny Osei, 2 for 4 from the field. He's got 5, looking to work on number 6 here, the 6'2" guard from Little Rock by way of Montreal, Quebec. And he completes the 3-point play, and he'll check out, and Wynn will check in for him.
Rookie, Rashawn Wynn.
1:38 remaining. Hurricanes lead. Down to single digits now. The largest lead at 14. Mason puts it up for 3. That's too strong. Wynn tracks down the rebound. And he'll come back the other way. Session now. Session. Entry pass to Burdine, and that's last touch by Burdine, and that's a turnover.
Couldn't handle it.
And that's turnover number 3 on the evening for the Storm. White. Zimmerman off the screen. Ronaldo, he'll put it up from 16, and that bounces in. Ronaldo Dixon is not shy if you give him space, and the big man can knock down the 3 ball as well.
Oh yeah, he sure can.
Session, right hand, good finish, electric move through the paint by Session, and that's the quickness and the speed that we have been accustomed to seeing from Franklin Session on a nightly situation for the Storm.
And I expect to see a little bit more of it tonight too. He's not done.
7-point lead. Brown, that's denied. Last
nice
touched by Dixon, so good defensive play by Hall.
Was.
As Hall will check out, and checking in is States.
I'll tell you what, Hall, a relatively new ad for the Island Storm, I believe. He's going to be trouble for whatever team faces the Island Storm in the playoffs.
Hall is definitely a big man, 6'8" from Wichita State. Session again with the left hand. So back-to-back
just like
drives and finishes with opposite hands by Franklin Session, and he is starting to come on now.
Sure is.
He's got 7, 3 for 7 from the field.
Just like that, it's a 5-point lead.
Canes will hold for the last shot. Poole for 3, bang, and Poole knocks it down right between the eyes of Session just before the gun. So in a strong finish by Mike Poole, knocking down that 3 ball, but the Island Storm responded after that 7-minute mark after the Canes went up by 9.
Yeah, and you knew they were going to. They're a well-coached team. They got some good scores, so you knew it wasn't going to be that kind of game all night. They were able to right the ship, get back together, and now they're within 8 points. It's going to be a close game. Neither you or I expected this one to be a runaway. It's a good team. They're well coached by Coach Tim Kendrick, one of the more affable head coaches in the league.
Yeah, absolutely. This league is guard-driven, and they got some outstanding guards that are playing tonight, and they also have outstanding guards not available as well. Equally with the Halifax Hurricanes, who have some outstanding guard play as well, with some bigs that can get it done as well. Take a quick look at the numbers after 12 minutes. The Hurricanes shooting 50% from the field, 13 for 26. The Island Storm, 9 of 23 at 39. Both teams shooting the 3 ball relatively well. Storm 2 for 7. The Hurricanes 3 for 7. Both teams really not getting to the free throw line. So good quality numbers there by both sides. And we talked about the out-of-town scoreboard, where there's some important games going on, in particular, one in the Atlantic Division. And let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by New Scotland Clothing Company.
All right, so in St. John right now, the Moncton Magic hold a narrow 18-16 lead over the Riptide. They've got about just under 6 minutes to go in the first. The Windsor Express and the Niagara River Lions are facing off tonight in Niagara. That game is just starting, no score yet. And of course, the game you're watching right now, Halifax Hurricanes have a 30-22 lead over the Island Storm in Halifax going into the second quarter.
The out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by New Scotland Clothing Company. So some final instructions for both teams. Head coach Mike Leslie of the Hurricanes, Tim Kendrick of the Island Storm. It was a pretty good ebb and flow type first 12 minutes. The Hurricanes controlled pretty much the first 6 minutes, but the Island Storm responded with their big guns showing up in Devon Maxwell and Franklin Session in the latter part of the 6 minutes of that first quarter.
Yeah, we're going to see a steady diet of them throughout the rest of the game to make up for that 40-point deficit that they're losing from those guys being on the bench right now.
Session leaving away with 7, along with Hall with 7, and Billy White leads the way for the Hurricanes with 10. Canes start the second quarter with Poole, Dixon, Watson, Zimmerman, and Mason. Watson now, baby hook, no good. Rebound by Maxwell. Maxwell back the other way though. Kick out the States. Session exploding inside. Looked for Burdine. He lost the handle. Kicked it out to Maxwell, And that was down and out. That almost went all the way down, that jump up shot, but the rebound garnered by States.
Yeah.
And Verdine is the beneficiary of the putback.
That one not exactly out of the playbook, but it worked. Mike Poole.
Poole for three, and Poole connects as Poole continues the hot shooting. He's 2 for 2 from downtown. He's got 6.
And he's really coming along the second half of the season, hasn't he, offensively?
It just looks like he's just got a burst of energy and confidence. It's the thing. Confidence would be the one thing I'd say about Mike Poole, and he's continuing the stroke there as he misses his first 3 ball. 2 for 3 now from beyond the arc.
And that's what I like about Mike Poole, though. As I said, he can be a volume scorer because when he's hitting his shots, he's going to keep taking them.
And he can shoot it.
That's how you do it. That's how you score points.
Bunches, and that's his thing. When he comes off the bench, he's like Vinny the Microwave Johnson. He can score in bunches, and he's that guy. He's going to be that energy bunny type guy.
Yep.
They want, inject in certain situations to give him that boost, that lift off the bench, that scoring touch.
Definitely.
As Maxwell hits the first of 2. Quick conversation, either with his teammate Session or Watson, but I think it was with Watson as he knocks down both. And that's a matchup to watch for as Maxwell is guarding Watson down the other end.
Strength and speed.
Ronaldo, kick out the Poole. Poole now. Entry pass, and that's picked off, ripped away by Session. And a good foul on the open floor by Mike Poole as the Island Storm looked like they had numbers back the other way.
Double dribble.
The officials are going to come together here to see if this is a clear path foul or not. As Justin Rocky as well as the crew chief Paul Hansen.
Yep. Calling it on Mike Poole.
It's just a regular foul, not a clear path foul. So a good foul though in transition by Mike Poole. It's Mike Poole's team second of the quarter.
Yeah.
But they clearly had numbers back the other way off of that turnover.
And I think, to be honest with you, when I watching Mike Poole's reaction from the initial whistle, I think he intended to make that foul because when the whistle was blown, he held up his hand. Then they called double dribble and he walked away.
Session again in the paint and finishing with the spin. Session has 9 now. Zimmerman for 3, too strong, rebound by States. 5-point lead for the Hurricanes. Just over 10 remaining, and an errant pass between Maxwell and States. There's a nice roll back to the rim by States as Clinkscales will check in for the Hurricanes. Mason swings at the Clinkscales. Ronaldo to Watson, that's rejected. Gets it back though, and staying with it is Watson. And that's what Watson will do. He won't give up on a play.
No.
Regardless of what happens, and as he got that shot rejected by Maxwell, but he stayed with it to finish. Burdine for 3. That's too strong, and that's rebounded by Dixon. Good block out by Dixon on States. Clinkscales now. Zimmerman for 3. That's no good. Zimmerman's off to a slow start as he's 0 for 3 from downtown.
Yeah, he's looking to find his stroke still.
Zimmerman shooting 41% from beyond the arc on the season. Has been outstanding lately, hitting that 3 ball. Ronaldo will try his hand though. So now it's starting to turn into a 3-point competition for the Hurricanes.
Yep.
Losing that good ball movement in their half-court sets, trying to get it inside out. States blow by, and he is fouled by Dixon, and States will go to the line to shoot 2.
Pops up.
So that ball movement on the other end here for the Hurricanes in their half-court sets seems to have eluded them, in this second quarter, man.
Yeah, and that's really the strength of this team. That's when they score their most points. That's when they've got their best offensive flow, is when they're moving the ball around, because they've got so many guys that can score. Eventually, you're going to hit that guy that's open.
Hall will check back in for the Storm, as Burdine will go to the bench, and Lufau's looking to check in for States.
His first time in.
As States misses both. Empty trip for States. Zimmerman baseline.
Great finish.
Zimmerman with the smooth move. You usually don't see Zimmerman drive to the basket, but he took what the defense gave him.
And hey,
he was able to finish there, and that might put him in the right direction here after this slow start.
Well, that's
1
just
for
it.
4 from the field. He's got his first 2.
Sometimes when your shooting's not working, you got to start attacking to get yourself going.
Osei, baseline, kick out. Session puts it up. Jumper, it's too strong, but he gets his own rebound. Session, left hand, can't get it to go, but the putback is tapped in by Watson. As a fight for the rebound between Watson and Brown. But Mason, though, outstanding save on the baseline and finish by Mace. 9-point lead, just under 8 to go. Hall faces up Brown. Hall, nice move by Hall as he took his time to go to work there, and he was able to get it to go. Hall's got 9.
And that's a smart move by Hall. Anyone who's done their kind of scouting on Ramel Brown, you know that he doesn't, you're not going to get him on an up fake. He doesn't leave his feet. He doesn't have to. He's great with that defense and kind of getting set. And Hall's using his own footwork to work that in his favor.
Teardrop, no good. Clinkscales runs down the loose ball, and the jump shot's good from 16 feet out.
New weapon.
By Tyrone Watson, who's been working on that jumper the last few games, and he's been very good and efficient with it.
He really has, yeah. And that's
Maxwell explodes to the rim with the right hand.
Sheesh.
And Maxwell's got 6. He's 2 for 7 now from the field. Clinkscales.
Oh, what a pass.
And that's an outstanding feed. A no-look pass there by Clinkscales after drawing the double team. He just knew where his teammate was.
Yep.
And Ramel Brown made no mistake with the layup.
A veteran pass there, knowing that both guys had bit and went with them.
Session.
Speaking of veteran moves. Sheesh.
And this is going to be an interesting storyline throughout this game, Matt. How well and not well the Hurricanes play the pick and roll. They've been struggling a little bit the last few games trying to guard that pick and roll as Brown finishes with the left hand. But teams are every time down in their half-court sets are trying to go to that pick and roll.
Yep. And why wouldn't you, right? As you said, they have a hard time defending. You got to think the other coaches know that as well. So why not? Especially when you got the athletes to do it.
Hall gets to the rim, and it looks like it was an errant shot. He looked for the foul, but Mr. Energy, Dr. Duncanstein, following it up is Maxwell, and he's fouled, and he'll go back to the free throw line to shoot 2. Maxwell,
see the highlight there.
Trip.
Went down, luckily not hurt. Got a timeout on the floor.
Timeout on the floor. 9-point lead, for the Hurricanes, 45-36. But it's been up and back and forth and up and down in this one, but pace a little bit slow now. Both teams starting to get into their half-court set and trying to get into that groove that they're looking for. But I would like to see the Hurricanes try to get that ball inside and make that extra pass.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, and maybe make a little bit more use of the shot clock. They really haven't been doing it. There's only been 1 or 2 times really when they've run the shot clock all the way down. Not saying that you should do that every time, but they really, especially this last second quarter here, they really haven't been making that much use of the shot clock to look, as you said, get those open spots and to get that extra pass down low perhaps.
Franklin Session leading the way for the Island Storm, 6 for 13. He's come on since some early struggles in the first quarter. He's got 13. Tyrone Watson and Billy White had 10 points apiece for the Hurricanes. Watson 5 for 8 from the field. White 4 for 6. So, the numbers are there. The stars are starting to show up in this game. But there's one shining star that hasn't really got going as of yet, and that's Antoine Mason. 3 of 9 from the field. Mace got 7, but he can score in bunches as well.
Yep. Just
as equal as Mike Poole can.
Yeah, especially if he gets hot, and we've seen him do. We've seen him have slow first half, slow, first 3 quarters even, and all of a sudden he just explodes and he starts volume scoring on you. And he's the guy that's going to do it however he wants.
So out of the timeout, the Island Storm will go with Hall, Osei, Lufau, Session, and Maxwell. For the Hurricanes, it's Clinkscales, Zimmerman, Theon Reefer checking in for the first time, White checking back, and Brown. As Maxwell will go to the line in his second trip this evening to shoot 2. Maxwell on the season, a 56% free throw shooter. And he misses the first. And not seeing the Island Storm a whole lot, only seeing them here at Scotiabank Center. But if there's one thing in Maxwell's game that may need some tweaking, is probably the free throw shooting as he gets the second one to drop.
Yeah, he's shooting at a 50% clip for the year. Not what you want, especially from a guy that you got to assume gets hacked a few times a game. Nice take by Billy.
Billy White doesn't waste any time going to work. Good take in that painted area. Billy's got 12 now. He is the high man, 5-7 from the field. Osei, spin
Nice
move,
shot.
nice fadeaway jumper by Osei. And Osei's got 8. He's 3 for 5. 6, excuse me.
Big slam.
Brown, baseline, two-handed thunder.
How many
Seems
times
to
have
be
we
getting
seen
a couple of those a game
Oh,
on
yeah.
the baseline, but the outstanding ball movement and movement without the basketball as well for Brown. Reefer in transition, partially blocked by Session. Maxwell with the rebound, Session back the other way, Lufau with the jumper, and Lufau rattles it down.
Canadian from Burlington,
Meshack.
Ontario.
6'8" from CBU. Knocking down the 18-footer. Looked like it might have been a rush shot, a quick shot into the shot clock, but he knocks it down. And Brown looks like he picks up the foul on Lufau on the reversal. That's Meshack's first.
See the replay
Team's
here.
first.
Just a bit of body from Lufau.
Out of position is Lufau. Quick ball movement. Look at, as you
There
can
you go.
see there.
It's
Mrs.
wide
Simon
open.
wide open. 2 guys being drawn up.
Yeah, you can't leave him wide open. You can't leave anybody wide open underneath like that.
No rotation on the backside on the help line as Brown hits the first. Ramel, 6'7" from Manhattan College, shooting the free throws at 50% on the season. And Brown,
Oof.
wow, he missed everything
Missed
on
it
the
all.
second. Out of rhythm there is Brown, and I mentioned Maxwell needs some fine tweaking, and tuning of the free throws. He could equally be said for Brown as well.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, 9-point lead, 4:17 remaining in the second quarter. Hurricanes have never trailed after going out on a 9-0 run to start this game. Session. Osei, entry pass inside to Lufau. Lufau, baseline, left hand, gets his own rebound, tries to power back up, and he's fouled in the act of shooting. And he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
You see, he just decided to use his size against Billy White. Billy, a little bit slighter than Lufau. Both the same height, but Lufau is a big boy.
Yes, Lufau, definitely, if I was to take a guess, he's got to be at least 230, 40 pounds of muscle.
Oh, yeah, he's bigger than that.
Maybe
I'm saying 260.
And he misses the first. Billy's second personal, team's 5th. It looks like Burdine's going to check in for Lufau if he can knock down this free throw. He can't. Rebound by Brown. Clinkscales back the other way, looking to run. Clinkscales loses the handle. Session back the other way now. Hall to Stunkenstein, and he rattles the rim. Couldn't even get out the last name. All I could see is Duncanstein. As Maxwell with the one-hand finish at the rim, and it's a 7-point lead for the Hurricanes.
Just looking at realgm.com, and you're right. Meshack Lufau, they have him at 6'8", 240 pounds. Big boy.
as he'll come out now, and Burdine will check in. As Osei's called for the foul, his first personal. As you can see the replay, it doesn't take much. He doesn't even need any space.
No.
Devon Maxwell does to get that ball in the rim. Three ball there short for Zimmerman, and he's over from beyond the arc, and that was a good look. Osei, left hand, hesitation, no good. Zimmerman now pushing it. White back to Zimmerman, back inside to White.
Thought he
now
had it.
Taking his time, spin move on Maxwell.
He's a master of that left-hand touch off the glass.
You can't allow White to back you all the ways down, and like you said, he is outstanding when he gets that spacing and that close to the rim. As White's got 14 now. Session, fade away, jumper. Briefer, rebound behind the back. Canes got numbers if they hurry. Zimmerman though. As the defense gets back in time and the Canes need to go to work in a half-court set. 2:30 remaining here in the second quarter. White going to work, and he
good
is
second effort
starting to
finish.
really put the beat down on Maxwell one-on-one. White's got 16. Billy is 7 for 9 now from the field.
Doing great work in the paint.
Hall, spin move. Now it's both teams are looking to assert their inside game as Hall picks up point number 11. Clinkscales, freeze, finger roll, and Tim Kendrick wants to talk it over.
Can't give Clinkscale space. You see guys doing that a lot, figuring he's the older, the veteran player. Maybe you give him a bit of space, he can't get by you. He's got that freeze move, he'll get by you. Look, no problem. Nothing but space. Can't sleep on him.
And that happened to happen a few times down the floor defensively for the Island Storm, where there seems to be a little bit of confusion on ball movement defensively, meaning who's guarding the ball, who's not guarding the ball, which man is going to be picked up, where the immediate threat is. And on that opportunity, Clinkscales, all he had to do was just basically hesitate, patting his freeze move, and he was able to beat both defenders that try to close out on him. And then the previous time down, when Brown was able to get that dunk, they ran at the shooter at the free throw line. So the Island Storm having problems, needless to say, knowing what the defensive assignments are.
Yeah, they're missing a few defensive assignments. You said they're not getting the rotations all the way, all the time. Sometimes putting up that help on the guy and leaving someone alone on the baseline. I mean, that's rule number one, right? Not to do that. So it's been pretty good. And Halifax, they've got the players, they've got the veterans that can take advantage of that can realize that almost instantly when someone has missed that defensive assignment.
11-point lead for the Hurricanes, 56-45. Canes shooting 52% from the field. The Storm 43%. Both teams just right around the 30% mark from downtown. Canes 4 of 13. Storm 2 of 9. So some last instructions here by Tim Kendrick to his team. I mean, definitely that timeout had to be a defensive timeout to try to make some adjustments. So out of the timeout, the Storm go with Osei, Maxwell, Hall, Session, and Burdine. For the Hurricanes, it's Mason, Reefer, Clinkscales, Brown, and White. Osei will inbound. Maxwell, he'll cross the timeline. Hall taking his time, loses the handle, gets it ripped away. Canes have numbers in transition. Reefer, Mason, and
nice
count
finish.
It. Clockwork. If you turn it over on one end, you know for sure coming back the other way, Matt, the Hurricanes are going to push it in transition.
Yeah, they got a great transition game of guys that can finish. It's been a big part of their game all season long. They get a lot of their points that way. So yeah, you're right. You can see the replay right there. Reefer kicks it, no problem. Mason had a couple steps on his man. It's like Mike Poole's going to check in right now.
And Mason's got 9 now, 4 for 10 from the field. Clinkscales picks up his second personal, team 6. And he'll go to the bench, and Poole will check in for him. As Kenny Osei will inbound for the Storm, as it looks like we're trying to get a reset here on the, nope, no reset on the 24. It goes to 20. Minute 30 and counting remaining in the second quarter. Maxwell, baseline, tries a reversal dunk. No good. Hall with the putback. That's no good. 50-50 balls raced down by Reefer. Reefer will attack.
Great
Left-hand
attack.
finish. Great decision in the open floor by Theon Reefer, Matt.
Yeah, real good decision, making use of that athletic ability. You don't get to see Reefer a whole lot, doesn't play a ton of minutes, taking advantage from here with a great take and a great finish.
The St. Mary's product averaging 4 points on the season. Osei, jumper, bang, and he knocks down the two just inside the 3-point line. And that was a good-looking move, pump fake and jumper by Osei. He's 4 for 7 now. He's got 10.
Yeah, he's been having a good game so far.
Mason, entry to White. Now this has been an interesting matchup. Poole now. Poole forces the shot. That's blocked by Session. Poole gets it to the rim.
Wow.
After he picks up the rebound, and it looks like a foul on Session. He might have hit Poole in the head. You agree or disagree?
Well, I don't know if we'll see the replay. Look, he got him either the head or on the arm, but smart basketball by Mike Poole. Look, he gets hit. He knows the clock is down. Yeah, he got him in the arm. You can see on the left arm. But smart by Mike Poole to know not to collect that one, come back down and try to pump it back up with the shot clock at 1 like you saw when it hit the rim. And now he's hopefully going to benefit from it with at least 1 point here.
And Poole goes 1 for 2 in his first trip to the free throw line. Under 30 seconds to go here. Osei puts it up for 3, and that's no good. That's a quick shot for Osei. Not sure if he's trying to play the 2 for 1, but they weren't going to get a 2 for 1 in that situation. As he continues to struggle from beyond the arc, he's 1 for 4 now. Mason will hold for the last shot. Mason, and that's rejected, but Brown with the putback. Devon Maxwell with the explosion at the rim with the block on Mason. Mason looked like he was rising up to throw that down with 2 hands, Matt. But great awareness and staying with it, and that's probably the 4th time that we've seen in the first 24 minutes where the Hurricanes just stayed with the basketball.
That's right.
Even though the first opportunity might have been deflected or blocked or knocked away, and that was an outstanding finish at the just before the gun by Ramel Brown.
Yeah, and that's what you get when you play smart basketball. You get the box out. You're going to be able to get that and stay with the play. Like you said, he didn't give up, didn't take for granted that Mason was going to get that flush. He stayed ready to pounce, and he benefited from it.
So after 24 minutes, it's the Hurricanes, 63 to 47, that is. Stay with us. You are watching Halifax Hurricanes basketball on the Halifax Hurricanes YouTube channel. Welcome back to Halifax and the Scotia Bank Center. Those two guys are not on the broadcast.
Just gave the fans a scare, I think.
That is not Matt Elliott. Vince Williams on hand. That is the network. Hurricanes winning at the half after 24 minutes, 63-47. Silver Vision crew on hand here.
Best crew in the business.
For Halifax Hurricanes basketball, the Island Storm struggled to find their offense in the first 24 minutes, but they found it in spurts. But they are trailing here at half. The Hurricanes, on the other hand, though, 63 points. That's a lot of points. They're averaging 107 points on the season, and they're going to look to continue to play a full 48 minutes as they have been able to put 24 good ones in the books already.
Yeah, and they're getting a lot of shot opportunities. Halifax putting up more shots, and they're hitting them at a higher rate than is the Island Storm. Halifax is over 50, Storm just above 40.
As Maxwell misses the first, Storm with control to start the third. Maxwell couldn't get the teardrop to go. Mason now. Mason spins. Fade away. That's a tough shot.
Very tough. Well defended, too.
Osei with the great defensive play. Session thought about it. And Osei knocks it off of Clinkscales, and the ball almost ends up into our broadcast area.
Saved by Kevin Sanford.
Yeah, just walking by. I had my hands up. I was ready to catch and shoot. 63-47. Hurricanes lead. They have never led. Sorry, never trailed. They've led throughout the game. They've never trailed in this one.
Jumped off to an early lead.
9-0 to be exact, and they haven't looked back since then so far. Osei gets to the rim, though. Clint Scales picks up his third personal. Team's first. As Kemi will go to the free throw line for the second time, and he misses the first. Kemi shooting 70% on the season from the charity stripe. And he misses both. So an empty trip for the Island Storm, and Kemi Osei, that is.
Not often he misses both.
Clint Scales. They can't afford to have a slow start. The Storm, that is. Watson, jumper. Rebound picked up by White. Second chance.
Nice pass.
And White, but the putback is there. But that seems to be the way that things have been going all night long for the Hurricanes. Those second chance opportunities and putbacks. The offensive rebounds, if you take a look at it, Hurricanes got 12.
Yeah, and that's just it. Halifax has been crashing the boards a lot more aggressively than the Island Storm have. 37-24 on the rebounding numbers. That's a 13 rebound differential. That makes a huge difference, especially when you're not shooting that well.
And Osei's fouled in the act of shooting from three. As Watson picks up his second personal, team's second. So Kemi's got 3 opportunities. He misses the first. So the struggles continue now for Kemi on the free throw line. Not sure what has changed or what's going on, but pretty efficient free throw shooter. Now he gets a stroke back as he shakes his head, knowing that, it really should have made the last 3 attempts.
Yeah.
And he makes the second. So it would end up being a 2-point try as he had his foot on the line, not a 3. Actually, it was.
It was, yeah.
He took 3. 2 for 3. Because he made 2, it threw me off that he only had 2. Clink Scales, though, between the legs of Watson, and that would have been
a real nice pass.
And a real nice finish, too. An opportunity because he was behind the defense there. So both teams off to a slow start here to start the third. Maxwell back to Osei. Maxwell, 2 men, and
Very
he
nice
beat
finish.
them both.
Good body control.
went down the left side and finished with the right hand. I think that was the key there, going up with the right instead of the left as he was able to elude 2 defenders. Watson. White though. And White's been getting the better of Maxwell on this end of the floor mat.
He has, yeah. He's using that great footwork. Maxwell's a good defender, but Billy's got good footwork, and there's very little you can do unless you play more aggressively and you're willing to give up some fouls.
And Maxwell responds with his 13th point. White's got 18.
Oh.
He is shooting at a very high rate this evening. White is 8 for 11 from the field with 7 rebounds. Rummel bound right behind him. Rummel is actually perfect, 6 for 6 with 13 and 8.
Big steal by Mason.
Rummel. And it's on the floor, not in the act of shooting, as States is called for the reach. States is first.
See the replay there.
First.
Yeah, got him just before he went up. Good call by the refs.
Almost looked like a continuation.
If he hadn't have froze, if he hadn't been a continuous movement, I think he would have got it. What a pass by Antoine Mason.
When you got that by Mason, he turned the corner, and Rummel Brown with the rollback. That was an outstanding half-court set by the Hurricanes, and Brown with another flush. He's got 2 dunks, and he remains perfect from the field. He's got 15 now. Maxwell responds with the spin in the lane.
Got great touch, Ms. Maxwell. Able to put that one up with the spin. One-handed, no problem. Again, unless you're willing to play a little bit more aggressively on both of these guys, Maxwell and White, you want to give up some fouls. It's really the only way that you're going to get any kind of make any kind of a chink in the armor, because they're just both really seasoned guys that know how to play ball underneath.
Yeah, they have been very good this evening. No doubt about it. Clinkscales, oh, he almost had.
Yeah.
But Maxwell was lurking. Brown misses, and that's Brown's first miss of the evening. 7 for 8 now is Rummel. Osei for 3, no good.
Nice rebound by States.
That's knocked away. Rebound Watson now. Numbers back the other way. Brown with the 2-handed flush.
Oh.
Brown in transition from Watson. Osei. Hall, baseline, rejected by White. And the putback by States. Looks like Brown might have fouled States.
See the replay. How often do you see this? The 4 to the 5. Throwing it down.
Outstanding. Rummel Brown running the floor.
See it again. 2-handed, no problem.
Man, get up, big fella. States now. 2 free throws coming up. Hits the first. Brown, 17 points. And States rattles down the second. 71-57, 7:36 remaining in the third. White, double team now by Hall. It's a little late. He gives it to Brown. Brown kicks it back out to Clinkscales. Clinkscales puts it up for 3. Bang! And Clinkscales connects from downtown. The captain, shooting at 38% from beyond the arc, hits his first of tonight.
Quietly shooting at almost 40%. That's great. You're shooting at 40% from three-point land in the pros, folks. You're a good shooter.
Hall rejected by Brown. And a foul call on Brown. That's a tough call on Brown, as Hall with the quick first step spin.
Let's check the replay here. Oh, geez, I don't know.
Not even sure where the foul is there.
Oh, my goodness. Should say Rummel Brown, he's got 17 points. That is his season high so far. 14 was his high previous to that. Congratulations to him. Having a great game.
Questionable foul call on the other end on Rummel. His second personal, as Hall misses the first of 2. Man, I tell you, the replay, the benefit of the replay shows that he might have got the ball there, as Hall misses both. 74-57. Hurricanes under 7 to go. Baseline. White continuing the torture. and tear up Maxwell on the inside game. That's 20 for Billy. He's 9 for 12 now.
And a steal.
Billy behind the back, between the legs. He tried too pretty there, and he turns it over. Wynn checking into the game for the Storm. Alley-oop is too high by Hall to Maxwell, and that's probably the first time I've seen Maxwell not go up and get it.
Yeah.
But that pass was way off the mark by Hall.
I don't know if he was expecting it.
Well, I didn't think he would too. The center's trying to throw it to the small forward. In that situation, I don't think Maxwell was ready, and his leap was mistimed. White with the jumper. Hall now playing White, and they're trying to switch it up here defensively, see what Hall can do. Hall inside, in and out, and he's called for the foul. No, the last touch out of bounds by Hall. As a fight for the rebound between him and Brown. Hurricanes looking to continue to build on this lead, and that's a beautiful alley-oop by Mason as he was fighting off the ball with Wynn. Left Wynn in the dust and finishes at the rim. Maxwell, jumpers, no
nice
good.
board. Oh, he hold it,
and
couldn't hold on to it.
Mason almost came up with that rebound. That would have been an outstanding rebound with one hand, man.
Against the trees.
Coach of your Halifax Hurricanes.
So Mike Leslie, are we going to see the Mike Leslie dance cam right now?
No, probably not. Just addressing the fans going into the playoffs. But right now, the Hurricanes with their largest lead, 21 points.
Please don't drive.
As a timeout on the floor, as, man, I'm not sure what head coach Tim Kendrick can say to his team right now. I mean, it's been back and forth. They're just not making shots. But they're having problems with their interior defense, man.
Yeah, well, you hit the nail on the head right there. I got to imagine that's what he's talking to them right now, trying to tighten things up on the interior, in the paint, on the defense, but as well getting that ball moving around and getting those scoring opportunities to the guys like Sessions and Maxwell that can get the job done.
And a few other games going on around the National Basketball League of Canada. We'll take a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard, and the out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Nova Scotia Power.
All right, well, in New Brunswick, the St. John Riptide have a 47-44 lead over the Moncton Magic. They are just starting the second half right now in that one. At the end of the first, the Niagara River Lions in Niagara have a 31-22 lead over the Windsor Express. And, of course, the game that you're watching right now in Halifax, the Halifax Hurricanes have a 78-57 lead over the Island Storm with 5:24 left to go in the third quarter.
So both of these games in the Atlantic Division with some playoff implications on the line here. St. John Riptide want to continue the winning ways.
Yes, they do.
To try to get that third spot in the standings in the playoffs. And nobody really wants to play Halifax in the first round.
No, I can't blame them. Nobody ever wants to play number one in the first round. Especially, yeah, exactly. Especially in a place like Scotiabank.
Where they're very good at home. And their winning record at home is well above 50%.
Yep.
Are the Hurricanes. They've done an outstanding job of getting the job done on their home court. So, out of the timeout, Wynn will inbound for the Storm. Burdine is checked in. It's Session, Maxwell, and Hall for the Storm.
Going back to what you said there, 14-5 Halifax is at home so far this year. Very good.
Burdine, handoff to Session. Session trying to use his quickness. Gets inside though, kicks it out to Maxwell. Shot clock under 10.
Ooh.
And Maxwell just tried to fire it off an opponent, and he gets the job done.
3 seconds on the clock.
They only have 3 on the clock with the inbound coming up. Maxwell will inbound. This is a catch and shoot situation, and they almost turn it over. Session forces up the prayer. Didn't hit hit the backboard. I'm not sure if it hit any part of the backboard. Nevertheless, Burdine is the beneficiary of the putback. 78-59 now. Clinkscales. Clinkscales, Poole. Ronaldo, entry to Brown. Brown faces up. Hall, baseline. Spin move. Wins, rips it away from Brown, and back the other way come the Storm. Good defensive play there by Wynn. Session in the Hall. Hall reversal. Can't get it to go. And now the Hurricanes have numbers back the other way on a 3-on-2. Mason inside. Ronaldo. And the left hand as it looked like Maxwell called for the goaltend as his hand went through the rim. Up through, knocked that one away, but the basket will count for Ronaldo. Outstanding ball movement.
Great.
Unselfish basketball. Mason gave up a good shot for a better shot.
Yep.
And Ronaldo was the beneficiary of it.
Yeah, he was essentially wide open for that three-pointer had he wanted to take it, but I think he made the right decision.
Maxwell, hand off the Session. Win. In tight, he gets it ripped away by Kahn, who's checked into the game for the first time for the Hurricanes, along with Zimmerman. Poole, back to Kahn, baseline. Kick out to Zimmerman. Zimmerman thought about it. Kahn will put it up for three. No good. Rebound by Dixon. Zimmerman will try, and that's rimmed in and out.
It's great ball movement.
Session now. Session is blocked by Brown. He knew he was in trouble when he tried the hesitation, and he couldn't blow by the big man from Manhattan College. Kahn dribbles. Drives, and a jump ball forced by Burdine. That was an outstanding defensive play as Kahn was able to blow by Burdine. But Burdine with the recovery was able to tie him up, but the arrow will favor the Hurricanes with 15 seconds on the shot clock. 3:31 remaining in the third. Brown now. Kahn. Under 10 is the shot clock. Kahn's got to make a decision. Zimmerman. Kahn for three. Kahn, bang, he knocks it down. Kahn, if you can't get it the first time, try it a second time.
That's why you're in the pros.
And Ashton knocks it down. Maxwell back the other way, misses. Hall with the rebound. Session, thought about it. Session now. He'll slow it up and pull it out and reset, looking for a screen. Maxwell turns the corner, but that's denied again by Brown.
He is huge today.
Brown with the denial, and Kahn with the left hand on the other end. Ramel Brown
He's everywhere.
is absolutely doing it on both ends, Matt.
Yeah, he's having the game of his life today, and you got to think that Coach Leslie is absolutely ecstatic with that. Going into the playoffs, knowing that you got a guy firing on all cylinders. You're big at that. Bigs, good bigs, really so rare in this league. It's great to see.
Man, I tell you, Ramel Brown has played outstanding tonight. He has been an absolute force in the middle. 8 for 9 from the field, 9 rebounds, 17 points, but he's got about 5 blocks.
Oh, yeah.
And the blocks are huge. As Session answers
Shot by Session.
with the three.
And the key to what is he's not overly aggressive when he's playing defense. If you watch, a lot of those blocks he gets comes from just being patient. He doesn't leave his feet. He waits till the shot goes up and he gets his arms up, and before you know it, it's coming back at you.
Turnover by the Canes. Session now trying to answer back on back-to-back possessions, and he does, and that's 5 quick points for Franklin. As he finishes at the cup with the right hand. Sessions got 18 now. Ronaldo, good look from beyond the arc, and Ronaldo's too strong. Win with the rebound. Maxwell, transition, look out. Maxwell, that's almost denied by Reefer, but the putback is there by Burdine.
Well defended.
85-66, and you would think with all this action back and forth that the Storm would put some sort of dent into this lead, but it's not the case, Matt.
No, it's not, because Halifax is able to just keep scoring, right? They just come back, they're answering, and it's just no matter what the Storm seems to do, Halifax has an answer for it, and they can't dig their way out of the hole. See the replay here on the foul.
Looked like
that's a tough call too.
Ball there, win. And multiple substitutions by both teams. States is in for the Storm, and it looks like Brian Rouse checks in for the first time for the Hurricanes.
I think this is the first time I've seen Maxwell sit down this game.
That's first time. I would say so. Dr. Duncanstein for the first time. Poole hits the first of two, and he knocks down the second. Back up to a 21-point deficit for the Storm. Just over a minute to go in the third. Session, kick out the States. He almost lost the handle there. Back to Burdine, and Burdine lays it in. You would think he wanted to dunk, but he made it the catch and he made the hoop. That's all that matters.
Securing his 2 points.
Yeah, absolutely. Kahn now. Ronaldo runs into the double team. Kick out to Zimmerman. Poole, pull up. Poole off the glass, no good. Session with the rebound. Session says hold it up, but he turns it over. Ripped away by Zimmerman. Canes have numbers. Kahn.
Nice
Ashton,
take.
left hand finish on the right side.
Great speed.
Ashton Kahn off the bench, giving some quality minutes as Kahn has 7 now. And Kahn, very effective offensively. We haven't seen, at the start of the game, no disrespect to Kahn, we had no numbers on him in the limited minutes that he has played.
No, I'm just bringing up his stats here on the computer. Take a peek at his game log. He may be at.
This is definitely a season high.
This is a season. His season high was 2 to this point. So yeah, season high. Now a new player. You'll give him a little credit there, but he's having a great game.
Rouse with the jumper at the gun, can't make it, but it's 91-66. So just to finish up, Kahn finished strong coming off the bench. 3 for 4 from the field. He's got 7 points. He's 1 for 2 from downtown. And after 3 quarters, the Hurricanes continuing the lead. They have never trailed in this one. Shooting 53% from the field are the Canes. Storm 41 from downtown, 31%. 6 of 19 are the Canes. And the Storm 3 of 12 for 25% from beyond the arc. But the statistic that seems to be glaring out at me, Matt, would be points in the paint, a 16-point differential.
Yep.
And rebounds. The rebounding situation not good for the Island Storm, even though they have 24 of their own defensive rebounds, but it's 31 defensive rebounds and 12 offensive rebounds, and we're looking at total 43 to 37. Man, I think the number's a little off.
You think so?
Total, because I think the Hurricanes might have more than 12 offensive rebounds in this game.
Oh, I think so,
In the first quarter, they've almost had 12 offensive rebounds. So the numbers on that side may be a little off kilter, but nevertheless, if you look at the other categories, this is the reason why they're up big here after 3 quarters.
Yeah, and one of the quiet categories that they're really up is in assists. Halifax has 24. At this point in the game, the Island Storm only have 14, which suggests that Halifax is getting more out of that ball movement, right? Moving the ball around a little bit better, opening up those shots.
75 shots to 67 more for the Island Storm as Halifax. So final few instructions here by both teams.
I'm liable to get a basketball in the head.
Yeah, little mini basketballs are flying in the crowd here as they are going at a furious pace. They're trying to even throw it up to the upper level where the sky boxes are. Fans, just to give you a little bit more details of what's up next for the Hurricanes. The Canes will go out on the road to finish up the regular season versus the Cape Breton Highlanders on Saturday night at Center 200, but the playoffs will start round number 1, game number 1 in the Atlantic Division for this team on the 5th next week, and the 8th will be game number 2.
All right.
So we already know what nights the games are going to be played. We just don't know who it's going to be.
Right on. So there you go, folks, the 5th and the 8th. Mark it off in your calendars, clear your calendars, get your tickets, and get out here.
And if you're not in town, tune in to the stream where me and Matt will be courtside calling all the action. Block shot once again, Ronaldo with it, Browse with the jumper, and that's
nice
a strong
shot by Brian
jump
Rouse.
shot with confidence. You like to see that by Brian Rouse And that's a part of his game that he's continuing to get better at,
Yep.
is hitting that shot at least 18, 15 feet out.
Yep. Brian Rouse, good basketball player. Again, he's one of those guys, he's been a reserve, doesn't get a ton of minutes. But like any reserve, when you get your opportunity, try to make the best of it, and he's doing it so far.
Absolutely. Ripped away, though, on the other end. Osei, right hand, no good, short. Put back is denied by Poole from behind. A third chance there by Hall, though, is swallowed up, and he'll go to the line to shoot two. And Dixon's second.
I don't think
Team's first.
Halifax isn't having too much trouble with fouls. A couple guys with 3, but that's not a big deal at this point in the game.
The foul situation is
Same for the
not an
Storm.
issue for either team.
Yep.
It just comes down to making baskets. And the Halifax Hurricanes right now to this point are just making a lot more than the Island Storm.
Yeah. Shots are falling. Halifax has got the momentum. They've got that confidence.
Pull up. Too strong.
Oh.
Hall with the rebound. Osei now in the open floor. States drives and States finishes. So good finish in transition by States and ball movement by Osei. Kahn loses the handle. Session wanted to back it over but didn't get it.
Session playing tough D.
Shot clock under 10. Canes need to come up with a decision here. Kahn, that's slapped off the backboard by Hall.
With ease.
Ronaldo can't get the put back to go. Osei runs into a brick wall.
Nice D.
Rouse and numbers back the other way on a 4-on-1 are the Canes. Kahn, left hand, and nobody back in transition defensively for the Island Storm.
No, and he pretty much had his pick of who he was going to give it to, Rouse or Kahn. Both of them are wide open under the basket.
So things are really starting to come undone here in the fourth quarter for the Island Storm, 95-68. As you can see in the replay there, Franklin Session looking up at the scoreboard and shaking his head saying, man, what is going on right now? We need an absolute Hail Mary, maybe a few Hail Marys just before Good Friday to get back into this one.
Yeah, they only scored 19 points in the third quarter to the Island Storm, so they're having a little trouble scoring so far this half. And quite obviously, hard to win if you can't score.
They've been outscored in all three quarters. As Session makes both, Wynn will check in for the Storm. Session, another good night though offensively for Franklin, as he struggled in the early going, but he came on. Now he has 20. He's 8 for 18 from the field, 2 for 4 from distance.
Yeah, having a good all-around game, 5 rebounds and 3 assists.
Zimmerman off the screen. Dixon on the rollback. Nice pump fake. Dixon pull up.
Oh, good job.
And he knocks it down.
Had the up fake and the freeze, kept the defense guessing.
As Ronaldo has 4 now. Osei, left hand. And a fight for the rebound underneath the basket. It looks like it's on Rouse as he tried to block out States. Rouse's first, team's third. Mishak Lufa will check in for Hall. Hall will go to the bench for the Storm. Osei will inbound. 9:13 remaining in the fourth. Maxwell, and he tried to posterize everybody inside, including his teammates, as Ronaldo stepped up and fouled him.
Yeah,
because if he didn't foul him, he was dunking on anybody that was standing around the rim.
Oh, yeah. See the replay here. He was all the way up. Let's take a look. Good shake and bake. That was coming down hard. Dixon had to foul him.
And Dixon yelling all balls, you can see in that replay, and he might have had a case. Maxwell misses the first. Maxwell, his 4th time to the free throw line, and he misses both. Poole, Kahn, baseline, Kahn, kick out to Rouse. Rouse tried to reverse it to Zimmerman, lost the handle finally. Poole now. Teardrop. Bank. Not open.
That would've been
Rebound
pretty.
by Osei. Maxwell. Transition. Win. Win now. Win. He'll pull up for three. That's no good, but the flush is there by Maxwell. As you can see how easy that was for Maxwell.
Yeah.
Getting up and finishing with the one-handed flush.
He's long.
Man, I tell you, he's exciting to watch when it comes to the athleticism. Burdine will check in for him now. State second.
So what do you do?
First.
I'm going to say, Vince, what do you do if you're Coach Kendrick at this point? Do you leave Maxwell out for the remainder of the game? Do you concede the loss and hope you save him for another day, knowing that you got a playoff series coming up, or do you try to squeeze a win out of here?
Well, I mean, the way the Hurricanes are knocking down shots and filling up the basket, I don't see any way that the Island Storm can get back into this game and pull this one out of the fire. Lufau throws it hard off the backboard. Kahn had the rebound. Poole comes up with the loose ball. Kahn now reverses the Rouse. And Rouse misses everything on the three. States, here comes States now. States racing down the court, and one, count it, for Brad States.
I think the foul's going to be on Kahn.
So, I mean, just to finish that thought, as you mentioned, I mean, their firepower is all on the bench right now.
Yeah.
And there's a heavy conversation going on right now between those players and the head coach, Tim Kendrick, with the reserves that are not in the game, as well as the players that have checked out of the game. So you have Session and Maxwell both on the bench. They're not available right now. So now you have your backups outside of Osei, your only starter on the floor.
Yeah.
You pretty much are conceding this one.
And
As Poole loses the handle, but it's last touch by the Storm. It will remain Hurricanes possession. Actually a foul call, so didn't see that coming.
I didn't see that either, to be honest with you. I mean, neither team in foul trouble at this point.
Osei with three. Team's second. Zimmerman trying to pull the three. Can't pull it.
Just not his game today from the distance.
But pretty much didn't need Zimmerman tonight,
No, they did not.
as it was the bigs that pretty much got this one done. A lot of basketball left, but the bigs have dominated by the Hurricanes, Matt. Ramel Brown and Billy White went to work.
Yep, the bigs. Oh, nice
Poole with
block
the
by
block.
Poole.
Poole now. Zimmerman will try his hand again.
There we go.
Finally. He's got to think, man, I just got to keep on shooting to shoot myself out of this funk.
And that's what the best shooters do.
And he finally gets it down. 1 for 7 now is Zimmerman. He's got 5. Osei, left hand, and he is fouled by Dixon.
I don't know if we're going to see a replay of this, but he just flat out. See the block there. I was going to say, Osei looked like he just blew by Theon Reefer. Theon Reefer went down. I don't know if he got his feet caught or if it was just one of those instances where a guy was just too quick.
As Kemi will go to the line to shoot 2 now. He makes the first. So tough shooting night all around for the Island Storm. Just under 40% on the night, 38 to be exact are the Storm. They are 30 for 78. On the other hand, the Hurricanes, 45 of 85 at a 53%. That is outstanding.
It sure is.
If you can shoot above 50% from the field, you won't lose many basketball games.
That's right.
Zimmerman, and he is
Took a
fouled
reach.
by Wynn. Wynn doesn't think he committed a foul, but when does
Most guys
anybody
don't.
think? And when does anybody think that they have?
Yeah, I've never fouled anyone personally.
102-77, 6:31 remaining in regulation. Canes 5 points away from their season average of 107 per game. Poole Jumper, bank, not open again as Poole tried to hit the banker on the other side of the floor. States, finger roll
nice.
from way out. Bradley States channeling his inner Dr. J or man, who else was
Pistol
pretty good?
Pistol Pete with
I
the
don't
finger
know.
rolls. What?
Yeah, Pistol Pete was pretty good. I was going to say Gervin, George
Oh,
Gervin.
Yeah.
Poole knocks down the
There we
three
go.
ball. Sets his feet, had time, and that's been pretty much the way the defense has been played by the Island Storm, as Poole had pretty much all day to knock that one down. Osei followed his own shot there. No reset on the shot clock though. Wynn needs a screen, but he's got to hurry. He's got to make a decision with it. Osei now. He's going to probably have to force this one up. That's a tough three. No good, and that's off the back iron and rebounded by Reefer. Poole for three. Back to back. No good. Put back though. Reefer is there.
Good boards by Reefer.
And
See, Halifax got an all-reserve squad out right now.
oh, yeah, absolutely. And they're playing well, as the second unit has played well throughout the season for the Hurricanes.
Yes, they have.
Lou foul. That's knocked out of bounds by Reefer. And we have a timeout on the floor.
And just to get back to what you were saying as far as the reserves, that's really been kind of a cornerstone of Halifax, or at least Coach Mike Leslie, these last 2 years, is really getting the best out of the bench, making the most of what they've got, and they really do squeeze every point out of that bench. They've got a very talented and deep bench.
So 107-79 is the deficit for the Island Storm. But we have a few other games out of town, and we got a barn burner in one of those out of town games, and we'll take a look at the out of town scoreboard. The out of town scoreboard brought to you by the Chronicle Herald.
All right, in St. John, the Riptide facing off against the Magic. They're at 2:18 to the third. The Magic holding a 1-point lead, 66-65. The Moncton Magic leading the St. John Riptide. In Niagara, the Niagara Riverlions are down 48-46 to the visiting Windsor Express. They're at halftime right now as we speak. And the game you're watching right now, the Halifax Hurricanes hold a healthy 107-79 lead over the Island Storm with just under 5 minutes to go in this one.
And the out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by the Chronicle Herald. Matt Elliott, Vince Williams on hand with the Silver Vision crew
Best
here
crew in the business.
courtside at the Scotiabank Center. Hurricanes basketball on their YouTube channel. Canes trying to close out the show on the regular season here and lock up first overall in the National Basketball League of Canada and have home court advantage throughout the playoffs if they can get it done tonight. And they are well on their way with 4:53 left with a 107-79 lead, Matt.
Yeah, it would take a superhuman effort from the Island Storm at this point.
Superhumans.
Yes, and not to say it couldn't happen because they got the players, but those players right now really are on the bench. So, again, Halifax looks like they're in good shape at this point. Theon Reefer getting some good run out of his minutes. Hopefully he's okay. He goes down. Yep, right back up.
Reefer hits the deck as that shot down the other end was blocked. That attempt by Lufau coming out of the timeout. As you mentioned, several reserves. It's all reserves right now from both sides on the floor. Zimmerman, Reefer, Poole, Rouse, and Dixon. Zimmerman now, entry to Dixon, back out to Reefer. Reefer, a spin move. That's a tough attempt, and Wynn gets the body, and Reefer will go to the line to shoot two. For the Storm, it's Wynn, Burdine, Osei. Osei, the only starter on the floor. Not sure why, but nevertheless, he's out there. States and Lufau. As I pretty much would think that Franklin's session is done. He's not going to come in and play point guard, and Devon Maxwell's not going to play the point guard position. Tyler Scott's not available. Chris Anderson's not available as well, along with Chris Johnson.
Yeah,
So a lot of firepower on the bench for the Island Storm, and that's indicative to this score right now, 108-79. But don't take anything away from the Hurricanes. They have played an outstanding basketball game, whoever's out on the floor, and this is professional basketball as Osei knocks down the shot. When one man goes down, the next man's up.
That's right. They've played team basketball, have the Halifax Hurricanes. Really, it's been a great game. We've got 6 guys in double digits. You get something like that, you've got a pretty good chance.
And Poole knocks down another jump shot in the mid-range. Poole having a very good night.
Nice pass by Bradley States underneath.
Burdine gets the contact from Ronaldo, and he'll go to the line to attempt the three-point play. 3:46 left. Ronaldo's fifth. Kahn checks in for the Canes. Poole will finish. We're pretty much for the night for him. That'll be a night for Poole. Poole's line.
Big night for him.
Good night for Mike Poole. 6 for 14 from the field. 18 points Poole racked up. And he was 3 for 5 from beyond the arc with 7 rebounds and 3 assists. Shots no good there by Burdine. Zimmerman with the rebound. He'll cross the timeline with 3:30 and counting remaining in regulation. Hand off to Rouse. Rouse turns the corner, draws a double team. Couldn't get it to the rim. Dixon now, baseline, and
he just
tried
lost
to posterize Lufau.
Yes, he did.
But he lost the handle with the left hand. Lufau now. That's knocked away, almost put
Good
back
hustle
to
by
Lufau.
Rouse.
Reefer, and the pace quickening now with the reserves. Hurricanes looking to push. Dixon, he's pushed off the block and turns it over. Osei to the rim, left hand, and short at the rim. But he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Zimmerman second. Penalty in effect, and over the limit are the Canes.
First time we've seen that all game. I think penalty, is it not?
Absolutely, but
See the replay of Rouse there going that hustle, and that's gone.
But 3:01 remaining. I'm not sure would it even matter at this point.
No.
They need lots of stops here. 110 to 83 to be exact is the score with 3:01 left. Osei misses the first of 2. And he connects on the second. So tough night all around for the Storm. But for the Hurricanes, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it's good. You think Coach Leslie's going to be happy with his team's performance today. Now he's feeling it.
Zimmerman knocks down his second 3-ball of the evening. And it's a good response from a team that lost their previous game at home.
Definitely.
Where it was kind of a tough back and forth battle, but it was decided by a few defensive breakdowns that lost you it down the stretch.
Yep. I mean, you got it right there. Halifax knew they had to come back. They had to have a different kind of mindset for this one. Couldn't be thinking about that game. And it wasn't Halifax. The team we saw in that game really didn't look like the Halifax that you and I are used to seeing. So sometimes, you got to worry as a coach, as a fan, or whatever, that they're going to come back kind of with that same mentality if it's going to carry over. Clearly it hasn't.
Yeah, absolutely. Too many defensive breakdowns, and they couldn't dodge the bullets because the right man had the basketball for the Moncton Magic.
Yes, sir.
And he was making no mistake, whether it was a contested shot, either early in the shot clock, late in the shot clock, a forced shot, it did not matter. By the point where the game was in the balance, it was just too far gone, and he was just too hot, and he was able to basically single-handedly at one point beat the Hurricanes.
Yeah, they had no answer for him, and I remember you and I discussed that there was a few three-point shots where unexplainably, or inexplicably, however you want to pronounce it, he was out there by himself when he shouldn't have been, but at the same time, there was plenty of times when there was people in his face. He was falling backwards. He was just hitting everything.
Yeah, it's tough to hit a fadeaway 3. It's probably one of the most difficult attempts in basketball, hitting a fadeaway jump shot from 3-point range when you're already 4 feet away from the 3-point line.
Yeah.
That is probably one of the most difficult feats in all of sports. But congratulations to the Magic. They got it done.
Sure did.
But the Hurricanes are righting the ship tonight and they are putting a nail in this coffin on the Island Storm and on the regular season to have that home court advantage throughout the playoffs. Lufau couldn't beat the shot clock, and that's a violation for the Storm with 2:19 remaining, 113-84, teetering on a 30-point deficit here.
I'd like to see Ronaldo Dixon taking it to the rack a little bit more.
3 balls, no good. Dixon facilitating on that last trip down. Zimmerman had another good look from beyond the arc.
Nice kick out.
Lufau for 3, big follow, bang, he knocks down the triple. Mishak Lufau extending his range from beyond the arc, and I watched Lufau play in his AUS career here at the U Sports level, and I don't think I've ever saw Mishak Lufau attempt a 3-point shot from beyond the arc, let alone hit it.
I'm looking at his 3-point, looking at his stats right now, and by the looks of things, he maybe has taken 1 3-pointer this so far this season, aside from that one. So
Zimmerman knocks down the 3 after States tried to fight over top of the screen, fell to the floor, and that was probably the easiest look for Zimmerman on the night. Rebound by Burdine. He hits the deck. Back to Osei. Second chance from downtown, and he knocks that down, though. Catches.
Looked nice from here.
He caught and shot that one in rhythm. 116-90 now. Just playing out the string is both teams. Just over a minute remaining in regulation. Osei. Lufau. And the baby hook goes in the lane. Lufau, though, comes from a long line of successful basketball players in Canada. Lufau's got 2 brothers that played for Wichita State in the NCAA, those teams that made those Cinderella runs a few years back in the tournament.
A little bit of trivia I did not know.
And Kahn with the left hand.
Usually that's my bag.
Well, you don't have all the answers, my friend. I do have a few tricks left in the old bag.
Yes, you do.
As well. So, we're winding down here at Scotiabank. Putting a cap on this one. Win in the lane. Spin. In and out. Rebound by Dixon. And that should pretty much do it. And the Reefer attempting to hold, and Kahn
That'll be her.
Dribble this one all the way out. So there it is. It is official. The Hurricanes are the #1 seed overall in the National Basketball League of Canada with a victory of 118-92.
And that's a great story. Halifax, this is what they wanted. They've got the home court advantage throughout the playoffs. Worked hard all season long. They've had their share of ups and downs, losing C.J. Washington. So to finish like this, knowing that you're going to come out on top for the league, not just the division, is great.
As you can see, also confirmed on the screen, round number 1, game number 1 will go on the 5th. Game number 2 will go on the 8th here at Scotiabank Center. So a huge night for the Hurricanes and their faithful. For my producer, Paul Robinson, Matt Elliott, and the Silver Vision crew, I'm Vince Williams saying so long from Halifax. We'll see you in the playoffs on April the 5th.